Hey yo, how's it going, everybody? Hope anyone out there who's watching this right now is having themselves a fantastic day. More so than we're having over here in the US. But hello, my name is Relikai. I'm going to be playing a video game on the internet. Tonight that video game is going to be Kamikaze Lassplanes. Yeah, so last time around we were last stream was on election day in the United States. The phrase "that happened" has never been more applicable to any event, I feel, in any circumstance, at least here. Yeah, it happened. I'll just say, doesn't feel any better the second time around. So, the next 4 years are going to be interesting. That's the best. That's the best term I can apply to it. Like, if nothing else, the next 4 years will be interesting. I don't know. Check back in 4 years. Maybe our country, as the world knows it, will cease to exist, and it'll be something else. It'll be some mutated, grotesque monster of what the world conceives of as the United States. Yeah, it's I don't have any alcohol on me. I have been drinking throughout the week. I actually have. They have beers in the break room fridge at the office where I work, and we are mandated to go into the office every Wednesday. I haven't actually drank one of those beers in like 2 years. I actually drank one of them though, and it was fine. 2-year-old beer. I guess it's yeah, as long as you just keep it cool, it's fine. You know, they're tightly packed inside bottles, so yeah, it was fine. But yeah, I drank, ended up not going to the gym. Did work out a little bit at home though. I did actually manage to get my pull-up bar put up, which I wasn't able to do at my old place because the only doorway where I could have put it up was my front door. So yeah, I never actually got to use it in the way it's supposed to be used. I have been using it like that for at least a couple weeks now, and I like it. You know, I can just walk over there and just bust out a few pull-ups. I can also do hangs as well, which literally everybody and their dog talks about how good it is to just, you know, grab onto a bar and just hang from it. So I'm trying that out. I've heard it could help out with my shoulder. We'll see. I definitely feel, you know, in some instances when I'm hanging, something is kind of like getting moved around in there, almost to the point where it doesn't feel like right. Like, it shouldn't be doing that. But then again, like, my shoulder is, its whole existence in the way it is right now shouldn't be like that. So yeah, so yeah, instead of going to the gym, also I'm forced to adhere to dumb, stupid daylight savings time rules because the main office for my work is in Michigan, and they have to do daylight savings, and so they force us to do daylight savings. So that's also part of this whole shebang. And yeah, this whole week has just sucked. I hate this week. This week is awful. So yeah, lots of bad things happening right now. Yeah, right now I'm just kind of, I'm doing things to just make myself feel better and disassociate, you know. Like I'm drinking, and like I won't apologize for it right now. Like usually I'm a little coy with my drinking. I'm always like, I know I shouldn't be doing it, but like, you know, it's no, this time around I don't give a fuck. I am totally deserved and valid to be drinking at every hour of the day this week, and potentially even the next 4 years. I don't know. So yeah, I'm drinking. I'm trying to lose myself in metaphor, which I haven't actually been playing all that much, but I'm finally kind of knuckling down and deciding, you know what, this week where I just need to do things that you know, make me feel good and make me forget about the big dumb stupid orange. It's not a mistake. It's not a mistake this time. We knew what we were asking for. So yeah, it was not a mistake. This just big dumb stupid orange. I don't know, wall that we saw coming and we just didn't hit the brakes. You know, that's essentially what it is. We were driving at a wall, and we could have hit the brake, but we didn't. We could have turned the steering wheel to avoid it, but we didn't because we wanted to hit the wall. So now we've hit the wall, airbag deployed, our the front of our car is all crumpled up, the engine is all busted, and we've got a black eye and a broken nose because of the airbag, and yeah, just everything is terrible. So in order to distract us from all of that bullshit, we're gonna go ahead and start up Kamikaze Lassplanes. So last time around, we basically just had our beach episode. Yeah, we also went beyond the veil, and we saw that the world outside of the veil is terrible, you know, just like our world. And yeah, that, like, we did that. Then we had our beach episode, and now apparently there's a storm coming, and I don't know, I'm assuming we're going to have to fight a bunch of enemies in the storm. So let's just go ahead and do that, shall we? All right. Let's see it. OBS. Come on. There we are. All right. So, yes. Last time around, yes, sir. This is where we left off. So, we've started a new chapter, chapter 5, Kiss of Death. And also I checked in the collections menu. There are, I think, 8 different endings for this game, which is kind of wild to think about. So yeah, we're apparently going to be getting the Hannah ending, and then after that, you know, I guess I'd be interested to see what the harem ending is like. What are the other endings though? I'm assuming like one or both of the girls must die in some of the other endings, which I don't want to think about. I really don't want to think about that. So but yeah, we're going to just get whatever ending we're gonna end up getting this time around, and then we'll try and get the harem ending at a different point in time. And I'll maybe show it on stream as well. I don't know if I'll dedicate like an entire stream to trying to get it, depending on how difficult it is to get. But yeah, that's the game plan as of right now. All right. So yeah, we were at the beach, and now there's a storm coming, and we've got to skedaddle out of here. So let's continue on. I murmur a curse under my breath, taking out a radio and barely avoiding sharp claws. I always have it. Excuse me. I always have it with me, preferring to stay up to date in case something happens. It'd be good to contact HQ and let them know we're coming. I turn a knob, picking a familiar frequency. Silence. Good. It means the world didn't explode when I was away. I pushed the button to broadcast a signal, but the device's control doesn't turn green. And it should. Is it broken? Weird, I frown, examining the appliance from all sides. I tap on it with my fingers, but to no avail. The lamp remains off, and trying to send a message is in vain. Did the sand get inside? I don't see any cracks, but there's no other explanation. Damn it! You'd think military equipment is more resistant. No, man, not against sand. It's rough and coarse, and it gets everywhere, okay? I don't think that reference will ever get old. I don't think it's possible for that reference to ever not be amusing. Because, I mean, first of all, how often are you ever talking about sand? And then, I think the thing about it is that, like, Anakin's not technically wrong. It is coarse and rough, and it gets everywhere. Like, this is something everyone knows. But, so it's true, and it's just applicable basically anytime sand is ever mentioned. All right. One trip to the beach and my beloved radio is dead. Oh, now it's beloved. Now you like machines, do you, Walter? Okay, then, if you say so. The wind grows stronger, tugging at my hair. It's getting colder. Lifting my gaze, I see Alba gesturing vigorously like while talking to Hannah. The two Lassplanes are standing against the blackness, which seems so thick and infinite that I get goosebumps on the back of my neck. My instinct is telling me we should take off. Meow.
Hey!
Oi! Walter! What are you doing there?
I think my radio is broken.
Ugh, that's probably bad.
Probably, you say. What was that? The Lassplanes come over to our camp when a sudden wind picks up. The umbrella opened above me when I was sleeping. When I was sleeping flies away? Shouting, Alba follows it, running to catch up with the escaping item. Wait, what the hell did this sentence say? The umbrella opened up above me when I was sleeping flies away. I don't know what that's supposed to mean. That sentence was a little too ESL for me. Hannah moves closer. She helps me put our things into the bags before they share the umbrella's fate. Oh, it's Wednesday. I gather my towel. I try to shake off the sand, but the wind is effectively making it impossible, tossing it in all directions. I mean, shouldn't that get rid of the sand then? When Alba returns with the umbrella, I put on my shoes. The first distant rumble is coming from the sea. Ooh. Oh, they don't look very happy about that. It sounds like sliding rocks tearing the world apart. Aww. Iluna leaps out of my bag with a screech, fleeing to Brandenburg's luggage.
It's getting scary. Let's go already.
Definitely. Alba, show me your radio.
What?
What radio?
What do you mean, what radio? Mine is broken, so I must use yours to contact HQ.
Oh.
You didn't take a radio?
Why would I take a radio if you took one?
Somehow you remembered to pack the sandwiches.
Of course I took the sandwiches.
I mean, that's fair, yeah. You can trust Alba on food duty. Arg. Hannah, do you have your radio? My gaze falls on the blonde next to us. She doesn't reply. Lost in thought, she's staring at the approaching squall line. I mean, once they turn into planes, don't they have radios inside of them? In the distance, the rain is already lashing the waves. Hidden deep in the clusters of clouds, a flash illuminates their texture. The Lassplanes' light strands of hair are rising in the wind. They are brushing her cheeks, get into her mouth and eyes, yet the girl does nothing to stop them. She doesn't react to my words. She seems frozen like a wax figure, with her mind completely elsewhere.
You know?
We really should get going before it pours down. Let me remind you, we only have one umbrella, and we nearly lost it already. My hair is terrible after the seawater. I have no idea if it'll survive the rain.
Hey, what's happening, Kai-san? Yeah, it's been a while. Hope you're doing well. Hope all is well on your end of things. I've personally been better, but yeah, hopefully all is well with you. We're just playing through the remainder of Kamikaze Lassplanes. I mean, not the remainder. Whatever we get through tonight is what we're gonna be doing. But yeah, how's it been? How's school treating you? Oh dear. Alba's babbling is drowned out by another thunder. More ESL. It's louder, more intense. I could swear it sweeps across the land too, that I can sense its sound under my feet. I feel the island tremble in the face of the approaching great force. But my gaze is fixed on Hannah, indifferent to what's going on, what we're saying to her. What's wrong with her? As if reading my mind, the Lost Plane suddenly turns to us. There's something frightening in her expression, frozen like a mask. Determination and panic are swirling in her eyes at the same time, fighting for dominance to guide her fate. Her hands clench into fists again. School's been well, grades been up. That's good. That's good. Yeah, it's hopefully whatever it is you're after ends up becoming a reality for you. And I hope that student debt doesn't become too big of an albatross around your neck for the rest of your life. Cause yeah, that's unfortunately it's basically guaranteed now that it's not going to get forgiven at any point in time in the future. I'd like to show you something. Her voice is shaking, barely breaking through the rumble of the waves hitting the shore.
Alright. But maybe be quick about...
No, not here. You have to fly with me. Hannah, are you okay?
Damn it.
You have to fly with me. Now I freeze, mirroring her unmoving silhouette. But not because of the words she speaks, but how she speaks. There's a warning hiding in her voice. Although it's been trembling just a moment ago, it suddenly turned hard as steel. Her panic tightened in the iron grip of the determination. The confusion appears on Tross's face. She moves her gaze to me, waiting for my reaction. Even though we spent so much time together, she still respects Brandenburg too much to question her words. We shouldn't take the risk. The storm looks dangerous.
Right. Can't we fly there when it clears up? I'd love a warm meal in Sky Fortress.
Brandenburg is quiet. The silence makes my stomach twist with anxiety. I glance at the bag at her feet. Iluna hid from the sound of thunder inside under a towel. Where's your radio, Hannah? Why does it matter? HQ doesn't know where we are. They may be worried. It doesn't matter.
It matters to me!
When we're back, you'll report everything to your superiors if you wish. You can even show them this place for all I care. I sense anger in her voice. Alba glances at me with fear. I raise my hands in a calming gesture. I don't want to argue. HQ thinks we took off to teach Alba to fly alone, but we've been gone from the base for many hours now. They must be getting sus. Especially if we're flying somewhere else now instead of returning to the base. My duty is to check in. But since we've been gone for so long, will it make a great difference if I do it now or after we fly back? Oh boy. Okay, well, see, the thing is, I don't know how firmly placed we are on the Hannah route. So let me see. So silence makes my glance at the back, blah 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 blah. Shouldn't take the risk. The storm looks dangerous. Let's see. Her voice is shaking. She wants to show us something. Her voice is shaking. Apparently it's important enough that she wants to show us right now. She has to show us right now. Maybe it's the watchtower? Is the third watchtower here? And yeah, she's acting weird again. She's panicking. Spend so much time. She still respects Brandenburg too much. Shouldn't take the risk. Can't we fly there when it clears up? Silence makes my stomach twist. Glance at the bag at her feet. HQ doesn't know where we are. They may be worried. It doesn't matter. It matters to me. When we're back, you'll report everything to your superiors if you wish. You can even show them this place for all I care. I'm curious to see what it is that she wants to show us. But I feel like I keep acquiescing to like everything Hannah wants to do. I mean, I did disagree with her regarding whether I thought the light is a weapon or a tool. But okay. All right, let's go ahead and save, I guess. You know, at the very least. And all right, let's go. If for no other reason than I'm curious to see what it is that's so important that she has to show us right now. I don't care what HQ may think. I don't feel the need to let them know where we are, which I feel is directly in conflict with the canon series of events that the game wants me to go down. But my questions about the radio were a test that Hannah failed. Maybe if I pressed her, she'd agree to hand me the radio, or maybe not. Whatever she's planning, whatever she wants to tell us, I see she doesn't want anyone else to know. Fine. Is it far?
Nope.
No.
Walter, are we really flying there without a word?
We'll make a stop on our way back to Sky Fortress, that's all.
But...
You two are the ones who hid from HQ where we were flying. If you confess now, we'll just get in trouble.
You're right. But let's go fast. I'd like to make it in time for dinner.
Hannah nods to confirm my words. Sorrow mixed with relief crosses her gaze when she does. I don't understand. Wasn't this the answer she expected from me? Oh my goodness. The first drops of rain land on my forehead, then when another rumble tears the reality around us. The flash paints long black shadows of our silhouettes on the sand. Brandenburg moves away, heading toward the shore, toward the water. I know she's creating a distance to transform safely without hurting me. Alba follows her suit after a while, albeit clearly hesitantly. She looks at me as if to ensure we're really doing this. Only when I follow the lost plane does she become convinced that we are. I glance at the back, hidden by the curtain of blonde hair. Hannah? Where are we flying? My question distracts her from the transformation. Hannah freezes, her gaze fixed on the blackness consuming the sky above our heads. Home. Okay. Taking to the skies only brought us closer to hell. I couldn't communicate with either lost plane even if I wanted to. With every flash coming through the window, a deafening roar surged inside the hull. The plane fought against the vicious wind, much like a ship on the surface of a stormy sea. I struggled to keep control of the machine. The other lost plane occasionally appeared within my sight. I saw her as a spot of color blinking in the light of the bolt against the endless black. The rain attacked the windscreen with full force, transforming the world outside into a dance of electric lights and oily shadows. I didn't even know where I was going. The abyss in front of me seemed bottomless. Hannah steered both her and Alba's plane. She pointed the direction to us, communicating briefly, perfunctorily. I didn't hear the commands. The two lost planes' senses were much more sensitive in this form than mine. Finally reaching the destination, we dove together. My heart leaped into my throat when the plane headed toward the ground. I don't know how Hannah knew this was the right place. I didn't see anything. Tearing through a thick cover of clouds, we breached into a gray, empty world. In the middle of it, a dark spot was floating in the air against the vastness of the ocean. Where the hell are we? Silence. When we managed to find shelter from the storm, the silence is ringing inside the hull. I recognize that insignia. We landed in a small hangar. I barely made it to because of the weather conditions. There was no time to ask questions. Up there, it seemed like the force of nature itself was trying to stop us from coming here. The chill of the rain pierced me to the bone, although my clothes remained dry. The hot beach we spent our day on is now nothing more than a faint memory. Shaking, I slip out of the hall. The flash of transformation behind my back is like a strike of lightning that sneaked into the hangar with us.
Impossible!
Holy crap, that was a crazy flight! I almost thought we wouldn't be able to make it!
Only now do I realize the bag with the cat is in my hands. I lean over, carefully putting it on the ground. You'll need to wait a bit, kitty. Wait until I snap out of the state I'm in and snap back to reality. Adrenaline is coursing through my veins, accelerating my reactions and dulling my senses at the same time. My eyes have remained open for the whole time since we left the beach, but only now do they begin to see. At first, my body appreciated the fact that the place is fairly dry, but there's neither the raging wind nor falling rain. But now my mind begins to absorb the facts. Where the hell are we? I draw air into my lungs. It's stale, musty, a trait typical for old places. The walls around are either smooth or pierced by fractures. The damage is deep, but mostly scattered. The surroundings look like a military base. My instinct whispers it to me practically immediately. A similar construction, similar sparse decorations, pure functionality and simplicity. My eyes find the confirmation a moment later. A symbol of the kingdom peeled off by time painted on one of the walls. Odd. I always thought Sky Fortress is the only base that can float in the air. What if there are more? Oh, so this place was floating in the air. Okay. What is this place? I turn around, forcing my body to obey. Alba and Hannah stand next to me. The transformation brought them back to their human form. Not even a drop of rain on their faces. Hannah is as pale as the wall she's standing by. She bites her cheeks from the inside, looking around. Although she was the one who led us here, she's in no hurry to move. Or to answer me. She takes in the smell, noticing and sensing more in it than I would be able to. Okay, I'm starting to get a bit annoyed with Hannah and just like her absolute refusal to explain anything to, you know, like she's feeling all these things and making us do all these things, and we're getting absolutely no explanation about it whatsoever. I get that's her character, but it's starting to get grating. Like, can we get some answers, please? Standing next to her, Alba looks around with a mixture of nervousness and interest. Her eyebrows are frowned. Pensiveness appears in her eyes, which widen slightly.
Ooh.
Although Brandenburg opens her mouth to belatedly reply to my question, Tross beats her to it.
I think I know where we are.
Tross's voice is shaking lightly, as if she were surprised by this fact too. Her eyes are piercing through the symbol of the kingdom painted on the wall. She crosses her hands over her chest, rubbing her arms in an attempt to both warm them up and calm down. The Lassplanes' words cut the silence, interrupting the trance the blonde was in. Hannah shifts her weight. Chips of paint break under her shoe.
It all began here.
Walter, this is the first Lassplane base.
Nani? I freeze at the sound of these words. Although they wake Brandenburg from her trance, they make me fall into one. I turn my gaze from them, sweeping it over the place. With the knowledge and confirmation of what it is, I take it in anew. A rumble sweeps over the world, resonating inside the base. The glory days of this place are long gone. A breach in the ceiling lets in daylight together with the cold air and rain, sprinkling the pieces of debris. The first Lassplane base. I imagined it differently. For how many years has this place been abandoned? And why? Holy shit! I think... Is that the first time there's been a curse word in the game? I honestly can't remember, saying any other ones.
I thought it was long gone. They said the original facility disappeared into the sea.
The blonde nods belatedly. Her focus seems to be more on the place she took us to than on what Tross is saying. I'm silent, unwilling to interrupt them. I'm silent because I want to know. Soon.
How? It's been so long. If it wasn't destroyed, how come it was never found?
After the incident pushed it out of its place, the wind carried it in an unknown direction. It hasn't stopped moving since then. But Sky Fortress is stationary. I thought you could stabilize the position of all flying constructions. Only if there's someone there to stabilize it. The kingdom has spent years trying to find and stop it. A moan of the metal seems like a confirmation of her words. The construction trembles slightly, but I don't feel it moving. If it does, it must be very slow, luckily for us. I don't know how I would land in its hangar in these conditions if I were moving faster. Tross must be under a similar impression. She reaches to one of the walls as if trying to feel its tremor. Feel that we're moving.
You know?
Its lights reserve are running low. It's been drifting across the world for years, slowly approaching the water.
The water? But it's already so low. Are you saying...
We don't have much time. Soon this place will be buried at the bottom of the sea. I'm too stunned to speak. How powerful must the light reserves have been to let this place float in the air without any third-party interference? In a way, it seems sad. A base set in motion doomed to eternal wandering. A small spot against the vastness of the water is impossible to find. God damn it, man. This friggin' Mucinex. Destined to be forgotten and die slowly in the depths of black water. Oh, kinda like me. The base is trembling under the onslaught of the wind, forcing its way through the hole in the ceiling. It's old. I knew the Lost Plane project was long in the tooth, but I didn't expect it to be so ancient. I brush my hand over the metal wall. A thick layer of dust and dirt sticks to my finger. The construction is creaking, slowly approaching the inevitable. The murky waters beneath our feet.
Has nobody really found it before?
Nope.
Not that I know of. Just me. I assume HQ knows nothing about this, or else they'd already be here. Correct. The Lost Plane moves forward. Her steps raise clouds of dust from the floor. She passes the two of us, heading deeper into the base. There's an unnatural stiffness hiding in her movements. Alba remains still for a few seconds, looking around. Only when I stand next to her does she remember our presence. On her face, fascination is mixed with anxiety.
It's amazing. I remember this place.
I nod. Is this the place of their origin? They must have been here at different times. After all, Hannah was the first participant in the project. Alba must have come here much later. I glance at the bag with the cat hidden inside. The pet doesn't stick its nose out, uninterested in exploration. Wait, are we leaving Iluna here? Brandenburg hesitates, but only for a moment. She turns her head, looking at me over her shoulder. She'll be safe. This place is falling apart, heading to meet the ocean. Sounds like she would be much safer with us. No, she wouldn't. I sigh. Iluna doesn't seem interested in a trip around the haunted old military base. The walls around the pet look solid. Besides, we need this place to return. It's the only hangar I saw from the sky. I trust Brandenburg knows what she's saying. I follow them. My gaze falls on the blonde walking in front. You said something about an incident. Can you tell me more?
Nope.
Not now. God damn it, woman! But be patient, Walter. I turned quiet, only because there's a promise hiding in her voice. I glance at Tross, hoping that maybe she can answer my question. But she seems just as puzzled. Her eyes roam around every corner as we pass as if she were taking the place in, unwilling to miss even a single nook. The three of us dive inside the large base. My eyes pierce the back of the blonde at the front. She talked so much about freedom, about getting out of the kingdom, painted as a prison by her bitter words, but she didn't use the chance. We were far from Sky Fortress, as far as never before. Brandenburg could have disappeared in the storm just as well as the wandering base we're currently in. Instead, she returned here. She called this place home. But I don't know what her childhood was like. I only know how sad it was. So why are we here? A flash of lightning rushes in through the cracks in the wall. I've been thinking many times about what the Lost Plane facilities look like. But I don't know if I expected something like this. Rough, bare walls and floors, the concrete intertwined with metal can't have been cozy even when it was in one piece. A practical but unpleasant place. There's some sting in it, and it's not caused by the air pouring in from the outside. I have to literally go word by word, concentrating on each word that I say, because the ESL in the script is so strong that it doesn't roll off the tongue as naturally as someone whose first language is English. It's coming from the walls, resonates straight from the past of this place. A chill runs down my spine. I feel pain in the back of my head. It resembles a whisper of my intuition, warning me that someone or something is watching me. Is someone or something watching us? Is this where you were training to become Lost Planes? Alba nods first. She's staying back, close to me as we're following Hannah. Her movements lack her usual spring. Her back is slightly hunched, head hung. The weight of this place settles on her shoulders. She doesn't seem to be fond of it. Yeah, this place doesn't look all that fun. Exactly. This literally looks like the test facility that all the child mutants in Logan were, created in before they escaped.
This is where I grew up. I remember it clearly now that we're here. You too, Hannah, don't you?
The blonde doesn't reply. Can we please stop calling her the blonde? Please. Can we please stop with the fan fiction character descriptions? Just call her Hannah, man. You don't have to go out of your way to just it's not bad writing to continuously just call a character by their name, or to just say he said, she said, they said, they ran, you don't have to try and get creative and descriptive every single time you're referring to a character, man. Brandenburg is pressing onward, her body stiff as if carved in ice. She's leading us through a tangle of corridors cutting this place. The base is quite large, not as much as Sky Fortress, but its scale is palpable. Why am I yawning so much, man? Goddamn. Yet there's something in its walls, in the dirt lingering between the floor plates, in the bent metal lying on the ground among the debris of shards of the forgotten past. God, it's so awkward. It's lurking in the shadows cast by the flash of lightning, in the quiet drumming of the rain on the ceiling. Brandenburg's blonde hair rises slightly when she's marching ahead. God, you know what? I keep forgetting what color Hannah's hair is, so I'm really glad, actually. You know what? I take it all back. I'm really glad that the game keeps reminding me what color her hair is. Enter stream, hears fanfiction, and sees the horror atmosphere in two girls. Told me this game isn't a horror game. Lee, you were just... You got to escape the Doki Doki Literature Club fan brain rot. Okay, not every single visual novel is a horror game. It's fine. Everything's going to be okay. We just had a beach episode last stream, man. But thanks for stopping in. I hope your night's going well. All right. The tension in the air is oily, thick. It sticks to my lungs, filling them. Why are we here, Hannah? Isn't it what you wanted? What do you mean? Didn't you want to learn what it's all about? Yes, but out of all the possible times for showing us this, why now? It's been so long since I met Brandenburg in the tavern. Since the very beginning, I knew that there was a certain wisdom hiding in her eyes she didn't share with me. But the distance that was between us when has been long gone. We're a team. Whether she wanted it or not, we grew close to each other. She, me, Alba, and Aluna, she left at the hangar of this base, but now the girl seems cold to me. Is it the wall she built between us that creates her distance? Then you built this pride wall! I escaped that. Now it's another school theme horror game. School theme horror game. So, let's see. I don't think it's school live, because I'm pretty sure that's only a manga, or you know, a manga and an anime. I'm assuming it's not Corpse Party, because that's not a visual novel. Yeah, I'm honestly not too in depth with the visual novel landscape, so I don't know what it could possibly be. But it's okay. Literally, not every visual novel is a horror game. In fact, visual novels being a horror is a relatively new kind of meta thinking. You know, visual novels back in the day used to all be dating sims. Back when I was a lad. Yeah, it's only, you know, at least since maybe Higurashi, which granted was a long time ago, but I'm pretty sure it was Doki Doki Literature Club that really kind of kicked off the at least the current zeitgeist in the Zoomer mindset of visual novels being horror games. Basically, like, all the time. And even if they don't look like they're horror games, oh, they're hiding it from you. It's just waiting for you to put your guard down. Is it the honesty she decided on exposing her true self? She doesn't answer my question. She speeds up like someone who can see their goal on the horizon and wants to reach for it. I glance at Alba. The Lassplanes' purple hair is standing out against the dirty walls of the base. Her face is contorted with emotions. She's trembling, rubbing her shoulders. We're at her home, aren't we? But Brandenburg is the one leading the way. Alba is sticking to my back. She's looking around with hesitation, doubts in her eyes. I remember how joyfully she waltzed into her home in Lunefell. The difference in her reaction is drastic. Does she even have a chance to remember this place if she was so young? How long has it been since she was last here? Good lord. A thunder shakes the structure, as if lightning had brushed its surface before hitting the ocean. Alba jumps with a squeal. When I turn to her, wanting to calm her down, I realize it wasn't because of the sudden rumble. Tross is pointing at something.
Here!
Look!
Huh? What's over there? The corridor we're walking down is long. On both its walls, there are rows of doors leading to other rooms. I instinctively ignored them like all the others, but now I see there are some names written on each door. Some of them are blurred by time and hard to decipher. I move toward the ones Alba is standing by. She lifts her head, staring at the inscription. Her eyes are gleaming in half-light. I read what she reads. HNZABRNDBRGCI. What is it, like Hans Brandenburg? Hansa? Is it, or is it Hannah, but the Z is actually a overturned N? And what does CI mean? Is she CIA? Ah, shit. Although some letters are worn away, the name still sounds familiar. The door is open. Tross automatically reaches for the handle. My heart stops when my gaze sweeps over it. Underneath, I notice a lock in the door. The lock is outside, not inside.
Impossible!
Hannah, look! Isn't it your room?
Damn it!
No. Brandenburg's growl reaches us with one echo when Hannah stops halfway through the corridor. Alba steps back as if burnt. I fight the temptation to look inside. My gaze roams over the drawings decorating the walls. Time-worn and covered by dust, they must be very old. but I can see they were made by a child's hand. They grew up here. This is it. Their past. The one I was always curious about. Despite the fury in Hannah's eyes, I look around, glancing at a different door. Most inscriptions mean nothing to me, but others draw my attention, those deeper in the corridor. Albatross D3? Alba, isn't this your room? Tross's eyes sparkle brighter.
Yeah!
Yes, it's this one! I remember it! I remember it perfectly!
It's not yours. Both of us turn around. The sparkle in Alba's eyes immediately fades away. Hannah's voice is icy cold, but her eyes are burning with fire. Nothing here is yours.
What do you mean?
Do it!
Stop acting like this, Hannah, please! I don't like it!
You're in bad luck then. I glance at the door whose inscription hints at Brandenburg next to me. It's just a door. If they grew up here, it must be her room. But my gaze lingers on the lock. On the bolt locked from the outside. Yeah, so surprise, surprise. You know, when these kids get taken away from their families and turned into weapons, it's not a great time. The door is half open, but I feel as if something dark and unsettling were seeping through the cracks. It grips my heart tighter. Something is wrong with this place. Alba feels it too, hiding behind me from Brandenburg's gaze. She's trembling, but her eyes are focused on the door with her name on it. Hannah, you've been acting strange all day long. You brought us here, but you're not telling us anything. Why? Why are we here? A shadow crosses the blonde's gaze. Oh, thank you. I forgot what her hair color was again. God, you know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of the oh shit, what was his name? Brian Regan. Reminds me of the Brian Regan bit where he's talking about, you know what I love? I love how they put the title of the book at the top of a page. What's up with that? You know? Is it in case you forget what book you're reading halfway through? Could you imagine if they did that with movies? You're just watching a movie and you're like, Planet of the Apes. I was confused about what was going on here. I was confused about what was going on with all the apes, but if it's a planet of them, that explains these apes. It's exactly like that. I'm so glad that they keep saying what color her hair is, because I do forget occasionally. Sorry, I was dealing with the cat. So how's the creepy but not horror game atmosphere? It's fine. Except Hannah, the blonde, in case you couldn't tell, is being really sus, and she just won't give us any answers. Let's go, come on. A shadow crosses the blonde's gaze as she glances at the familiar letters on the door. She turns around abruptly, like just the sight of it burnt her. As if by magic, her fury fades as she continues down the corridor, away from the door. She averts her eyes. You deserve to know the truth. What truth? We follow her unconsciously. The corridor ends with a huge door different from the ones we pass. They are thick, hard, and resilient to the destruction that has reached the rest of the base. It's time. It all ends today. My eyes move from the blonde to the door next to which she stopped. I look at the large hatch that firmly seals them off from the rest of the base. This is it. Whatever truth is behind these doors, I'm not sure I'm ready for it. Brandenburg stands in front of the hatch. Her hand rests on a large mechanism. But it doesn't move. Nothing happens. My body, tense from anticipation, goes limp. A breath leaves my lungs. Silence lingers in the air, filled with only the drumming of the rain on the metal ceiling of the construction. A distant flash of lightning creeps inside the corridor, painting the hatch with the shadow of the Lassplanes standing in front of it. I glance at Tross. Her eyes are as big as saucers. She doesn't look like she's in a hurry to get to the other side, but she doesn't know how to interpret Brandenburg's sudden hesitation. She's not sure how to react and doesn't want to, so she's staying aside, letting me go forward. And before they reveal she's actually a ginger that has a blonde perm and they were trying to hint at you that her hair is sus. Man, that would certainly be a twist. It would probably be the biggest twist in this game, in all honesty. I think she could do good with red hair, though. You need a hand with that. Approaching the blonde. Oh, thank you again. Thank you once again. I glance at the hatch over her shoulder. I see that even though her hands are holding the mechanism, she hasn't tried to turn it yet. Up close, I notice how much her body is shaking. Her eyes are fixed on her hands, breathing quickened. It's ragged, loud, spasmodic. Her body was being racked by a panic attack. She led us to this place. She wants me to know the truth. Show me the door. Stand next to her, contorted in a grimace of horror. I see her fingers rigidly cling to the mechanism. Silence answers. Hannah. She twitches, hearing my voice. Her hair waves as she turns her head toward me. What color is her hair, please? I'm completely lost here, and I'm not going to be able to continue on if I don't know what color her hair is. We stand shoulder to shoulder in front of a huge passage. Point of no return. Her eyes glows with a pale glimmer of horror. What's behind this door? She inhales through her nose as if trying to remain calm at all costs. Maintain her composure. Question is direct. All determination, iron will, which she ordered to come here, left in instant. Moment her hands touch the mechanism. It's going to break your heart in two. The quiet, soft trembles as she finally answers me. Horse standing near this place, sapping her strength till the burden has been on her shoulders. Stands behind the perfunctory answers. Whatever the thick enforced door, Brandenburg turned into a fortress. Explain which was the hardest thing I've ever done. What is it? She grips the hatch mechanism tightly, light scars reflected, eyes turn glassy. Wanted me to know the truth. Now the truth becomes a secret she's trying to protect from herself, maybe especially herself, from that version of herself that led me to this place. My true self. She says it as if it were something bad. Her hair is obviously platinum. Okay, thank you. She speaks the words as if they were a harsh curse intended for the quiet whisper to which she reduced them. My heart is breaking already, but not because of what she doesn't want me to see, but because of what I see right now. She called this place home, but it's nothing like home. It resembles a cruel old prison marked by many scars that remain invisible to me. I see how hard it is for her to be here, what a challenge it is to turn this mechanism, but a part of her wanted me to know the truth. I hope that when it finally happens, when I see the weight on her shoulders, I'll be able to take it over. I'll be able to ease her pain if I find out what it is. That's why, despite the warning hidden in her words, I move closer. Put my hands on hers, grip the mechanism hatch with her. I glance at her. She lacks the courage to cross this threshold. But I don't. Keeping my hands on hers, I slowly push on the mechanism, which gives in with difficulty. Sigh escapes Brandenburg's lips as we turn it all the way together. We sure love thinking things that happened in the last 5 minutes. Yeah, that's the thing about a lot of visual novels that I'm not a huge fan of, is just the padding. And here's the thing. I get it, man. Like, my own writing has a shit ton of padding, but it's usually because I'm only writing a limited amount of words. This is like a, I don't even know, like a 20-hour game or some shit. So, like, if you guys already have that much material to work with, it wouldn't hurt you to shave, like, I don't know, like 3 hours off just by sheer taking out of all the padded writing. The hermetic seal separating this part of the base from the outside world finally lets go. The cold air that seeps from behind the hatch hits my nostrils. It carries a stench I can't describe. I look at the darkness on the other side. The darkness hides the answers to my questions, but the chill that accompanies it holds a warning. I take a breath into my lungs like before diving into the water. Kinda want to see how many times they mention the word blonde It would be interesting, honestly, to get the whole script and then Control F the word blonde. Together we step to the other side. The storm is raging high above us. The violent hell we managed to escape up in the air. Yet going through the hatch, I can't help but wonder if it's not just another circle of it. Or we're just going into another cave? Alright. Behind the door, darkness is thick. Pressure is different here. Stench that I can't identify permeates the sterile smell of the air. Hatch leads straight down. They're narrow. The stairs are narrow, not letting us walk side by side. Let's go of my hand. The chill immediately attacks my palm. Purple flags of the kingdom accompany us on our journey down the steps. I can only see their outline in the darkness. Ornate royal emblems hang proudly from the ceiling, symbol of everything we achieved. The lower we are, the more intense the blue glow coming from the room is. So there is another watchtower here. More stale old air reaches my nostrils. My brain smells ozone and blood in it, like inside a hospital room that claimed a soul the night before. The impression is overwhelming. I stagger on the last steps. It reeks of death. My instinct tells me to fall back, and only my mind, fooled by the desire to get answers, makes my body keep going. Oh boy, is that all the other Lost Planes? You know what, this is about what I expected. It is about what I expected, honestly. As Brandenburg descends, the lights fall on her gaunt face. Her eyes are wide in fear, eyebrows furrowed. Azure light paints the hollows of her cheeks with shadows. Hesitantly, I walk down the last step of the stairs, joining her. We're here. Home. The entire room is shrouded in a pale blue glow, like inside a strange aquarium. High above our heads, the purple flags of the kingdom emerge from the tangled cables. Tall chambers of light illuminate the black void like pillars supporting the ceiling, supporting the flags of our kingdom hanging from it. I blink, noticing what's in their hearts. Yep, again, this is about what I expected. Oh no, look at all those mass-produced Nike. Human figures are hidden inside each pillar. No, not pillars. Chambers. Tall glass capsules from which comes the glow illuminating the room. Fear creeps into my gut. My stomach twists into knots, causing physical discomfort. Tross, standing next to me, stops in her tracks, apprehensive. Shock paints her face. Her hands are clenched into fists. Blue reflections dance on her purple hair, hide in her eyes full of fear and confusion.
Impossible! What is this?
Don't you know? When Brandenburg moves forward, the clatter of her footsteps seems as loud as a gunshot. For a moment, I stare at the back of her light head. Why is her head light exactly? Please explain. For I am just a small bean, and I don't understand. Just like the rest of the base, this place seems old. But while the level above resembled a military structure forgotten by the world, this is like a tomb. A remnant of something I should have never seen. I follow the Lost Plane instinctively, keeping my distance. She's going forward with a purpose while I'm trying to take in the place I'm in. Part of me wants answers and pushes my body to act. Part of me fears that what I see here will change the rules of the game. Change me. I study my surroundings. I'm looking, but I see nothing except for the interiors of the luminous chambers. The bodies hidden in them have my whole attention. I can't tear my eyes away, even though the image leaves an unpleasant, bitter taste in my throat. Their silhouettes are female. They float in some liquid that keeps them from falling to the bottom of the chambers. They don't move when we get closer. Are they unconscious? Dead? How many years must they have been waiting here before someone found them? If it weren't for us, would they have been fated to sink to the bottom of the ocean? What the hell is this about? Who are these?
Walter, look!
I look up, following Tross's terrified gaze. When I see what she's looking at, my body stiffens, halting mid-step. A gulp of air rushes into my lungs, stopping my heart for an unbearably long second. Like a ghost leaving its dying body, I stand by, as if taking in the image was too difficult for me to cope with head-on, as if part of me needed to escape and find the comfort my body needed to stay still. Hannah is floating in the thick, luminous fluid. Oh. So is... Yeah, so... Did they make clones of them? Is that how it works? They made clones of them, and then that's how they were able to infuse them with the power of the light or something like that, or interesting. Her blonde locks. She's blonde. Thank you. Oh my god. Okay. Her blonde locks entangle her body like slender, narrow tendrils clinging to her flawless skin. Bro, I don't think this is the time to be to be simping over her skin, my guy. I don't see the pale scar on the back of her hand. The girl's eyes are closed, her face calm, so unlike her, as if she were deep asleep. Her lips are slightly, unconsciously parted. I want to scream, remind her not to swallow this strange foreign water she's in, to tell her to open her eyes, get out of this prison someone has locked her in. But it's not my lost plane. My lost plane is standing at my side. I turn my head, moving my gaze to her. The same beautiful face, facial features, although this place has made them sharper. The same body shape, the same smooth hair, both in color and length. It can't be.
I don't understand.
Who are they? What's happening, Hannah?
Oh, and there's Alba over there on the right.
Is this some kind of a cruel joke?
I blink, although Brandenburg's face clumsily tries to hide behind the mask she's created. Tross's face shows nothing but terror. Tears gather in the corners of her eyes. Her pale cheeks lack a blush. Frustration makes her hands clench into fists. It's clear to me she has no idea what's happening. She doesn't know. But Hannah does. I wonder what she feels right now. Showing us this, watching us desperately try to make sense of it. The shock leaves me speechless. Like a sudden fall that causes so much pain in your body that it tears your voice out of your throat. I've had a fall like that. It's not fun. I become a passive observer, unable to do anything but watch. Confusion on the face of Alba, sadness in the eyes of Hannah. And then I notice something in Hannah. A glimpse of surprise and the sudden twitch of her eyebrows. I thought it was all an act. But you forgot again, Alba. Didn't you? Alba gasps, taking a step back. Yep, there she is. In horror, she turns her head toward her figure floating in the chamber. So similar to her and yet so unfamiliar. Compared to the life that Tross radiates with, her copy seems like an empty, lifeless shell. So, okay, wait. So are they the originals, or are these, and are the ones in the tubes clones? So if that's the case, like, what are they for? Are they like replacements for if they die? I'm guessing. I study her, desperately trying to understand what's going on. I'm struggling to get my voice back. My mind is trying to rationalize what I see, even if this task is simply impossible. When I manage to speak, my voice is hoarse. There are more of you? But how is that possible? Are they your clones? I didn't think such technology existed.
Nope.
It doesn't. A smile crosses Brandenburg's face for a single heartbeat. A smile full of pity. It's brief, an impulse, a glimpse of her true thoughts. As if she were reveling in my ignorance. No. As if she were enjoying the last seconds of it. The last moment I spend in the dark.
You know?
We're machines, Walter. We always have been. Okay, so yeah, so the ones the ones in the tubes are their originals. The void in my chest grows. I can't make sense of it, of what she's saying. Lost Planes have always had insane abilities, but they've told us time after time it's because of their unique bond with the light. That they were the only mortals who could actually use it, change the reality with it. People have viewed them as godlike creatures even. And it was only a ruse? I barely notice Alba moving away another step, the anger flashing on her face. I cannot fathom being angry right now. I'm too stunned.
Impossible!
Liar?
It's a lie!
You're lying!
Brandenburg tilts her head. There it is again, a glimpse of her surprise. She studies Alba as if for a moment she really didn't know how to react. As if she hadn't just dropped a bomb on our heads, so powerful that I don't know if I'll be able to rebuild myself from the remains. Are you getting angry again? Don't you remember what happened the last time you got angry, Alba?
Stop. Stop messing with my head! I don't believe any of that!
It feels like a trance. My eyes move from one lost plane to the other. I can't tear my gaze away from their soft, plump skin, hands so delicate as if they never had to use them, from their thick hair shiny and healthy, from the emotions twisting their faces, sounding in their voices. Machines? How could someone so full of life, energy, emotions, desires, and hopes be a machine? I mean, I guess it kind of makes sense for him to think this way because he's literally gone the whole game hating machines. Like all of the drones that fly around Sky Fortress, he keeps calling them things and its and being like, ew, these cold, heartless machines. So memories of the time we spent together flash before my eyes. Memories of Alba's taste for food and Hannah's love for coffee. Memories of behaviors so human they stop me from believing the words spoken here. I can't help it. My gaze lingers on Hannah, on her beautiful face, contorted by the horror of this place, of this truth. But I remember her differently. We've been through so much. From running through Sky Fortress to wandering around Azuria. She knew all this time. Somehow, albeit shallow, I can feel resentment towards her. Why? For not telling me sooner. What? Is she obligated to tell you all this shit? And again, you know, these are obviously military secrets, but, you know. She catches my gaze. Pain blooms inside her irises, like she can feel my resentfulness. Hannah, but how could it be? Are you serious? Brandenburg smiles faintly, that smile again short and sad. Her arms spread as if the words she just shared with us were nothing more, just words. As if they didn't carry the force capable of destroying worlds. Truth is always a little disappointing, isn't it? As my world shatters, I can hear Alba's soft cry. Hannah stays silent, stoic, resembling the figure looking just like her, hidden inside the safety of the strange capsule. Merely a messiah, a harbinger of the world around collapsing, twisting, and turning. How does it work? How does it happen?
You know?
The light works in mysterious ways.
It's a lie!
But it doesn't work like that! It cannot! I would know!
You knew. You just forgot. Are you saying that all lost planes? That they're...
Yes.
They're not human. We are not human. What human could achieve the things we can do? Doesn't the light work in mysterious ways? You know, literally the line that was just said before? But it cannot change the nature of a being. Your body is frail, weak, limited by soft muscles and feeble bones. One that is the fuel cannot become a vessel. Alba shakes her head in denial, her hair flowing. She refuses to accept it. I don't realize when my lungs move toward one of the capsules. They carry me forward on their own. Legs. Why did I say lungs? As if the taste of earth-shattering answers made me crave more. Hannah's words reach me. The logical part of me understands them on some fundamental level, but at the same time, the other part can't comprehend them. I don't understand how I could have missed it. Were there signs I wasn't aware of? Can machines eat, drink, crave fun and peace of mind? Could their skin be so soft? Reflexes so human? Should they laugh, cry, get mad, and celebrate? Why? Why can't they, my dude? Explain to me better why they shouldn't be able to feel any of these things, or why they shouldn't feel them at all. In the sea of tired faces and identical gray uniforms of the soldiers in Sky Fortress, the Lassplanes were more alive than everything around them. All around me are familiar faces, worn out places, worn out places. Was it all an act? A program? Do they even have free will? Or are they merely a vessel for the light? I shake my head. Impossible. It's impossible for the last few months to be a lie. I can't accept that. And neither does Alba.
It doesn't make any sense. Look, I remember my childhood, Hannah. I remember my home village. The goats grazing on the hills, you know? The sweet buns my Nana used to make. Hell, I baked them for you before the party. If I'm a machine, why do I remember these things?
Do I have a heart?
If I am a machine, why do I have a heart? Why do I feel it pounding in my chest? Why do I feel like crying right now?
Brandenburg hesitates. Pain flickers in her eyes. She led us to this place. She showed us all this. And yet she's silent now, unwilling to answer. The words refuse to leave her mouth.
Damn it!
Answer me!
Tross's scream leaves goosebumps on my skin. I glance over my shoulder. Brandenburg raises her hands in a reassuring gesture. But it doesn't make it any easier for the words to flow.
They're not yours.
What isn't?
The memories. They're not yours. The structure creaks around us. A groan of worn-out metal sweeps across the ceiling. The kingdom's flags are fluttering as if some artificial wind breathed life into them. As if the base were accelerating, hurtling towards its doom and the inability to cope with this information. Or is it just me?
Then whose are they?
Yep, yeah. The ones in the tubes are the humans. The originals. I walk over to the console next to one of the pods. The equipment is old, completely analog. I feel the unseen gaze of the slumbering Tross on me. I know it's just my imagination. I know the being inside isn't Alba. Isn't it? Hell, is it even a being? My eyes sweep over the station, where someone must have worked once. A broken mug lies next to the console. Its shards crunch under my shoe, and the remnants of coffee have dried or evaporated a long time ago. Shreds of notes splashed by it are pressed nearby on top. I see the writing on them. Albatross D3 Model 5.
Whose are they, Hannah?
Could you?
Please, I beg you, tell me.
I hear Brandenburg's rapid, ragged breathing behind my back. With a trembling hand, I reach for the notes next to the console. Something inside me is resisting again, trying to stop me. But I've gone too far. What once was will never come back. The old paper makes it difficult for me to turn the pages glued together by coffee. I carefully unstick them, opening the files. I freeze when I notice eyes on me. There's a photo of a child on the first page. A little girl with a broad smile. She has blonde hair and braids and the type of gaze that pierces your heart. Caption above her reads, Amber, age 7.
Do machines have souls?
I turn the page. Half of it sticks to the next one, tearing when I move it. Another photo. Red, short hair framing a sad, round face with glassy eyes. Lily, 9 years old.
What do you mean? Of course they do.
Another page. 2 pitch black, long ponytails on both sides of a face. They match the dark glare of the angry little girl. Olivia, age 12. Do machines have souls? Her repeated question pierces me to the bone. Another page, another gaze of a child positioned in front of a camera. Brown hair falling in waves over her shoulders, a worried expression. Amelia, 7 years old. She's holding a bitten roll in her hand. Oh? Desperation creeps into Alba's voice.
I have a soul. You have a soul. The drones I befriended in Sky Fortress have souls. They sing to me. I hear their desires and thoughts.
I hear Hannah swallow. It strikes me how human this reaction is. Have they always had them, Alba?
I don't know. Do machines have souls?
The air creeping into my lungs burns. My eyes begin to sting. Another face stares at me from the photo. I recognize her faint smile and slightly concerned look. The caption strikes my heart. Mia, 9 years old. Oh, that's... Pretty sure that's Alba, right? That was Alba's parents' daughter. I tear away from the console, taking a step back. I squeeze my eyes shut, but the girl's face is burned under my eyelids. She's staring at me from the darkness, her gaze cutting through my heart like acid.
I don't understand!
I don't understand anything, Hannah. Please just tell me.
I turn my face to the console. My gaze lingers on the Lost Planes standing nearby, as if their presence could deny what I have seen. Did they misspell Lost Planes? Just as Last Planes? Did they misspell their own made-up word? I'm at least assuming that Lost Plane is a made-up word. As if I could erase the conclusions of my mind. Hannah's face is frozen, eyes glassy. As if she had already seen what I saw a moment ago. Her lips are trembling. A machine needs a soul to live. Without it, it's just a piece of junk, glued together with some wiring. No. This is not possible. It shouldn't be. Alba notices the terror in my eyes. It only fuels her own. I can't be a support for her. I can't look at her the same way. Not if...
Show me.
I don't want her to see this. I don't want her to notice these records. The children. But I'm not able to move to stop her. My body doesn't listen. I can't move. I can't do anything.
What is that? Walter?
What you said before, Hannah? About human bodies? About fuel? The air catches in Alba's lungs when she sees the photo. Brandenburg's eyes remain on us, glowing in the semi-darkness filled with tears. I breathe heavily, taking in the air as my body forgot to demand it. Young, unbroken minds, pure souls, untainted by this world.
What are you saying? Who are these children?
The perfect fuel to form a lost plane. The perfect food for the light to feast on.
Impossible!
What?
The light that was supposed to be this infinite, almost magical power that made our island blossom into the beautiful, rich country that it is. The light that enriched our lives and changed our fate. That enables the Lost Planes to defend and help the people of Alestia. I knew there had to be a price. Nothing in life comes without it. But how could it feast on us without us knowing? How could it require such a horrible sacrifice to do so much good? These children... Stop. They're all part of you now. Stop! Just like the other ones are part of me. A broken cup crunches under my shoe when I take a step back. Oh, that's a new face for Alba. That's not like the same horrified sprite that she's had before. That's a different one. I feel sick. So sick. Tross's eyes spark with all shades of blue.
What are we?
I don't want her to reply. Please don't reply. Thieves. Nothing but thieves.
No. It can't be.
Their life was stolen just to form ours.
It can't be the truth.
They paid the price. We're forged from their bits and pieces. I want to stop Tross when she reaches for the records. But her movement is quick, fueled by despair so deep it fills the air between us. SMH, and he told me this wasn't a horror game. It's not a horror game! Like, sad things happening doesn't make it a horror game. I mean, this is like, yeah, it's fucked. This is fucked up, but I mean, it's... We just had a beach episode, man! Something breaks in my heart when Alba tears off the page with Mia's photo. I want to react, but I can't. Just like how Pokemon Red and Blue is a horror game. Okay, I see we're getting semantical here. Claws grip my chest. My legs are heavy like lead. Alba.
It's a lie!
It can't!
A sob breaks the silence like the thunder of the storm we left above. Tross turns away, dashing for the stairs in panic, clutching the piece of paper in her hand, in memory of who she was, who she thought she was. I should do something, but I'm just looking at Alba dashing up the stairs and disappearing. I kick myself for what I'm doing, for who I am. Something might happen to her. She's shaken far from coming to terms with this revelation. But I haven't come to terms with it either. I don't know if I'll accept it anytime soon. Foundations of all my faith in the kingdom I've been serving for so many years crumbles the moment a curved blade pierced my heart. Its jagged edges tells me that pulling it out would bring even more pain than sticking it in. It's like we're in that storm again. The silence carries emotions raging within me. I turn my head. My neck is stiff from the tension. I look at Brandenburg standing next to me. There are only a few meters of smooth floor between us, but at this point it might as well be a chasm. Tears are streaming down her cheeks, reflecting the blue light of the pods. Don't stand there like that. Go to her. She needs you right now. Again, I understand the words she's saying, even though her voice is trembling. Even though it's filled with pain that I cannot describe, she speaks clearly. But I can't take them in. I can't do what she wants me to do. My body is like a strange being that I have no control of. I almost feel like I can only watch what is happening around me. My gaze is fixed on her face. On the face of the girl I fell for with my entire heart. It's funny how now is the moment I truly realize this. I'm just having fun because I saw the video explaining that all games are horror games. That sounds familiar. I might have seen that video pass by my recommendations at one point in time. Now when it seems like life has lost its meaning, when things are beyond repair, I watch the horror glistening in her eyes. Her words are nothing but a facade she's barely keeping up. I can't leave her here in this state. She's in bits and pieces even though she doesn't show it the way Alba does. Why didn't you tell me? She snorts, although tears are still trailing down her cheeks. I didn't really find a good time to tell you. I swallow. I should run. I should turn around and head for the exit, find Alba and go back to Sky Fortress. Perhaps if I shut my eyes hard enough, I could pretend I didn't see anything. If I stuck my fingers in my ears deep enough, I could convince myself I didn't hear it. But I can't. My world has shattered, but the Lassplane standing next to me is just the way I always knew her. Although everything has changed, nothing has changed in her at the same time. She's still the person I knew. No. Mario's obviously a horror game. You've seen Bowser's Castle, how much massacre it caused in that game. All the Goombas and Troopas. Yes, sir. I can't bring myself to fear what she is. Not after everything we've been through together. After the way I feel about her. Maybe not during dinner. My throat hurts when the hoarse voice leaves it. I don't even know what that reply is. A poor joke? I can't form a coherent thought. What do you say when you learn something like that? Holy shit, are we the bad guys? Are we the baddies? The girl is trembling. She raises her hands, shielding her face from my sight, from the whole world. Her legs are shaking as she could barely stand still.
I tried to tell you.
I tried to tell you about the light, but I didn't know how.
How?
How do you share something like this? I don't reply because I don't know. Is the way she chose worse than others? If we were sitting in the canteen and she would casually mention that the light consumes people, I don't think I would have believed it. And before that, in Azuria or Lunefell, she didn't trust me enough to tell me. The world as I know it, everything I believed in, turned out to be as far from the truth as it could be. But so many things are running through my head that I can't think about everything at once. I find my gaze on the body in the capsule, identical to her and yet so completely different. This changes everything, but when it comes to her, does it really change anything? Hell, it should. Am I a bad person if I want to comfort her seeing her cry? What? Why would you be a bad person for that? Why? Because in order for her to exist, they had to, like, I don't even know. Are they dead? Are these girls dead? If they are, like, why are they being preserved inside of these tubes? Yeah, like, she can't help it that they created her by feeding children to the light. Am I a raging sociopath if I don't scream and cry and throw up knowing what happened in this place? Perhaps I am, but I can't force myself to react. I feel numb, frozen, stuck in a flight or flight response but unable to flee, and there's no one to fight. How did you learn about all this and find this place? Alba doesn't seem to know. It's because we're not supposed to. We're made to not know, to forget. How? There's a safety switch inside of us. Inside of us? Wait. Did someone get inside Alba? Hey, yo? I've seen some of us go mad upon learning what we are, disposed of shortly after. But you didn't. And every day I pay the price for it. She moves her hands away from her face with difficulty. Her gaze lingers on their palms, on fingers wet with tears. Her eyes wide, her eyes hide a mortifying past. The first lost plane ever. That's what Alba constantly called her. Somehow looking back, Tross's words sound ominous to me. I watch her rub her hand, the scar on its back. I had to sever my connection to the light to avoid triggering the safety switch. Some of it never returned. Suddenly, her blatant lie comes back to me. Spoken under the cover of night when the three of us were walking around Sky Fortress, talking about the watchtowers. It makes more sense now. Hell, even the fact that drones hate her while they love Alba makes sense now. That's why the watchtowers do not call you, isn't it?
How?
How do you know? Doesn't matter. This is the truth, before my very eyes. The reality undistorted by lies, masks, and falsehoods. I can't begin to fathom how she feels knowing it all. Knowing what had to be done for her to wake up one day, carrying this burden inside her heart for years on end. The damn irony of everyone calling her a hero to the people who lost their children to her to be born, the people who died so she could save others. Realizing this, looking at her again, makes me snap out of my numbness. The powerful lost plane looks like a sad, frail being despite her words stating that it was my body that's frail. This knowledge made it stiff, frozen. In a way, I'm the one who feels robotic now. And she, shaking, sobbing, and barely standing upright, is human. It doesn't matter to me what she is. Her feelings are not a result of a program. I can see them before my eyes. She's not a mindless vessel of the light. She's a person. A person I would do anything for before all this. And even if that makes me a bad person, I would do anything for her now. I come closer. My legs feel numb as if I haven't used them in years, not just a few minutes. Brandenburg immediately takes a step back. Terror creeps onto her face.
Stop it!
Don't come closer. Why not? Please, Walter, just leave. Go after Alba. She needs you more than I do. You're lying. Her lies sound desperate. When I take another step toward her, she's trying to create distance between us again. But her back hits the glass wall of the chamber where her likeness floats. She's like a cornered animal, doing everything in her power to hide from my sight. The unconscious lost plane behind her is unresponsive, indifferent, cold, sleepy. Devoid of the soul that brought Brandenburg to life. Devoid of the sin that came with it. Why are you pushing me away? Do you even need a reason? Look at me. Look at what I am. You're not a what to me. You're delusional, Walter. Out of your mind. Did you not hear what I said? I heard you clearly. Although some parts I wish I didn't.
Damn it!
I'm not who you thought I was. I'm something much, much worse. My memories are just a blend of lives lost by others. Others who were killed to bring me here. Don't you understand? Believe me, I do. Even my personality is not mine completely. I can feel it. I can feel their different parts inside of me. I can tell which one is mine and which belonged to someone else. What happened in this place is unforgivable. This entire project is a crime against life itself. None of it should go unpunished. That's why you need to step away. Go! I can't.
Why?
Why the hell not? Why the hell can't you hate me the way I hate myself? I should. Knowing what made her who she is right now, I should be appalled. This shouldn't be a conversation. It casts a different light on her face. I still don't understand why. Why are we supposed to hate her? Like, I get it. This is all fucked, but like, it's not her fault. You know? We don't hate Frankenstein's monster because of like the fucked up circumstances that brought him into being. We hate him because he's kind of a bitch. At least in the book. All right, I'm talking about Frankenstein's monster in the book. He's a little bit of a bitch, but he's also like, understandable. In the movie, he's a lot more sympathetic, but yeah, we don't hate him because the circumstances that brought him to life are screwed up. The doctor, Victor's a complete and total bitch. Yeah, we don't like Victor too much. I should not be able to look her in the eyes, but even though my damn body is trembling at the thought of the crimes committed here, the person in front of me is not to be blamed. Exactly. She didn't wish to be born into this world. She didn't want to be any part of this, and I can see the self-hatred and regret raging in her eyes. How could I be mad at her when the true perpetrators are living freely, running the show? Please, I'm begging you, say something or leave. I could never hate you, Hannah. You have to. None of this is your fault. You're wrong. Everything is.
It's all my fault!
Something changes in her gaze when she pushes herself away from the chamber, away from me and my gaze. She runs her hands through her light hair, blonde strands. Oh, thank you. Jesus, like, I didn't know her hair color for at least like 20 minutes or something. Blonde strands stick to her cheeks, wet with tears. Rage and guilt fill her body. Is her guilt that intense? Why should she be blamed for being here in this world? She didn't ask for this. I wonder what our life would be like if I never knew. If we just had got back to Sky Fortress instead of coming here. Would we go to the canteen and eat dinner as if nothing were wrong with this world? Play with Aluna in the morning, feeding her chicken? Fly together till the very end? Why am I here? Why did you bring me here, Hannah? I approach her carefully, not as confidently as before. I don't want to scare her away. Her face glistens with tears. You wanted the truth. I wanted you to be safe. Safe from what? She's crying softly. She doesn't want to answer, but I want to know. No more secrets. It ends today, I told you. What does? Everything. Images flood my consciousness suddenly, as if the dame of my self-preservation kept me from them before. Her distaste for Lunefell when she suddenly appeared in it. Her hesitance to shoot at the fleeing deserters heading for the Vale. Her apprehension of going to Azuria. Her willingness to go to great lengths just to stop me. Her wish to see the world and the sadness after realizing the Empire is lost. I always thought it was nothing but a rebellious act, but her aversion to HQ is not just aversion. I can see hatred storming inside her tear-filled eyes, rooted so deep as if it were a poison filling her body. Hatred she clings to like to a crutch, holding her upright when the weight of what she is crushes her to the ground. Hatred so deep she had to act upon it. I felt like nothing could pierce my heart anymore. I thought it vanished, left a hollow inside my chest, a hollow nothing more could penetrate. But I can feel it sinking inside of me. I can feel the cold air filling my veins with ice. I can taste the smell of ozone and blood on my tongue. You brought the Empire here. I expect her to deny it. I expect her to get offended by this assumption. But there's nothing but tears inside her eyes. There's nothing in this emptiness, only desperation. I see. Yeah, it was her. She's the one who opened up the holes. Who opened up the holes in the veil. I can't believe it. I can't believe I fell for her. I fell for a killer. Please tell me I'm wrong. My words break some barrier inside her. Only when I speak them does fire return to her gaze. The fire of rage, hatred. The crutch she uses. Rage is easier than other emotions. Than admitting a mistake. Don't you see how evil the kingdom is? Don't you see someone's gotta make them pay? And are they? Tell me, are they paying the price if innocent civilians are dying because of the Empire's attacks? It's just a means to an end, nothing more. It can't be. I can't let them get away with this. Are you willing to bury the entire kingdom just to bring its rulers to justice? She's hesitating, but I can see the anger subdue. It's clear she doesn't want to answer that. But some sense of guilt appears on her face, fills her eyes with more tears. I didn't mean for it to escalate so much. I didn't wish for innocent people to die. There's a gaping hole in my chest where my heart used to be. I understand why she did it, seeing no other option. But it doesn't make it any better. I see her trembling under her guilt, but the thought of taking a step in her direction makes me uneasy. I can't. So much suffering, so much death. I cannot continue. I won't have a hand in it, even if her motives are right. Even if the repulsiveness of this place makes me dizzy. I cannot let it continue like this. We have to put a stop to this, Hannah. The Empire is not your ally. Taking down the Veil will only bring doom to our island.
Damn it!
She swears under her breath, quietly, incomprehensibly. She wipes the tears from her cheek with the back of her hand, wipes her eyes, trying to clean up. I'm quiet, waiting for her to finish, waiting to see comprehension on her face. I know you're right. I nod. She turns away from me, looking at the capsules. Even though we ended up on the same page, I can't help but feel more distant from her now. It's too much. This entire day finally broke me. I don't know what to think, what to feel. God, literally, we were having a beach episode just a few hours ago. So, how long ago was this operation? The whole thing of turning girls into Lassplanes and feeding children to the light? I think like decades or something. I step away, trying to keep myself busy, searching for a way to avoid looking at her. I'll go find Alba, make sure she's fine. Are you going to be okay when I'm gone?
Yes.
She nods, swallowing. Her gaze is fixed on the pods. All right, I'll be right back. I turn my back to her, heading for the stairs. I reach the foot of the stairs when I see Tross at the top. She's looking at me with fear, her face pale. It seems like she ran here. Oh, there you are. I watch her descend the last steps, her whole body shaking. I'm flooded by guilt. I should have gone to her sooner. Make sure she's all right. She also found out about everything today. It shocked me. I can't even imagine how she must feel, seeing what had to be done for her to be born, to be created. Because, like, these tubes and the fact that they mentioned it's all analog indicates very long ago. Yeah, no, like, this was a long time ago, at least when this place was made, and this whole fortress has been floating around in the air for years, and it's finally, apparently, I guess, about to crash into the ocean. Knowing who she really is. I hear movement behind me. Brandenburg steps closer, eyeing Tross. I can see that she is also concerned. Alba, we should talk about this. Together.
No!
Not now.
The terror in her eyes goes straight to my heart. My eyebrows furrow unconsciously. When she ran out of there, Tross didn't want to talk. She was furious. She took a piece of paper with her, which I don't see on her now. Is she still unwilling to discuss this topic? Am I supposed to ignore it? What's going on, Alba? Brandenburg's words bring tears to Tross's eyes.
We have to go.
Her whisper breaks through the silence with difficulty.
Could you?
We have to go now.
Go where? I'm still standing between them, shifting my gaze from one Lassplane to the other. The difference in Tross's behavior is striking, but Hannah seems surprised by it. She glances at me as if I might know what Alba is talking about.
Loonfell. It's Loonfell.
My heart sinks. I can feel my palms begin to sweat. Now that we are so far from Sky Fortress, so far from our island, now when our world turned upside down where it's hard to tell right from wrong.
Damn it.
What's happening?
They attacked Loonfell. I can feel it. I can feel the watchtower calling me. We have to go. We have to go now.
The desperation in Tross's voice is as familiar as the despair in her eyes. She looked exactly the same the night we met in the glade. The same desperate need was hiding in her trembling voice. The same urgency forced me to act then just as it compels me to act now. As if waiting even a minute would be physical torture for her. I watch her shift her weight from one foot to the other. Watch her hands clenched into fists, unable to bear waiting for our reply. My eyes find Hannah, but her gaze is focused elsewhere. Perhaps a few days ago I would have dismissed her expression as disinterest, as the distance she so carefully maintains from the world. But now I see something else in it. I see guilt. Suddenly it all comes together to me. The sudden flight to a remote island away from Sky Fortress. My broken radio. Taking us here now. Her words echo in my head as my gaze pierces her profile, partially hidden by a curtain of blonde hair. That's why she brought us out on the beach episode! And then that's also why she said that we desperately needed to come here instead of going back to Sky Fortress. Hannah, you bitch. It all ends today, huh? Brandenburg pales. The blue lights of the pods makes her resemble a corpse. She takes a half step back as if Tross's expectant look made her even less willing to move forward. As if the awareness that I knew what she had done terrified her to the core. But I can see the guilt on her face. The same one which she told me her truth. We have to fix it, Hannah. My voice sounds firm inside the lab. As she moves away, I move closer. I know that confronting the outside world terrifies her. Confronting everything she did and who she really is. She needs me to remind her of what's important. Remind her of the direction we should move in. I hold out my hand to her and squeeze her wrist gently. To remind her of that she wouldn't sink into the feeling of guilt and despair that forces her to maintain distance. Remember, we have to make this right. If we don't, millions will die when the veil falls. She swallows and nods hesitantly. Her hands ball into fists. Does the current government even know all the processes if the papers for it are here? The processes? I mean, I think it might have been updated. I also don't know how many lost planes there actually are. I know there's only a few in the military, so, you know, they might not be making any more. They might have abandoned this place and then just the entire concept of making new lost planes. And they just keep using the ones that they have. I see that she's suppressing her conflicting feelings with all her might. She turns around, her gaze wandering over the room we're in. A flash of darkness suddenly appears in her irises. The consent we managed to gain disappears from her face, replaced by grave seriousness. Fury and iron determination appear in Brandenburg's eyes, as if the resistance against leaving us was too powerful, too strong for her to be able to do it. The structure around us creaks. The groan of metal reminds us of the impending doom of this place.
I can't leave.
I can't leave this place.
Hannah, please!
No, not like this. I sigh, standing between the two lost planes. My eyes pierce at Brandenburg. I'm trying to guess what is hidden in her words, in the determination with which she refuses to leave. Alba's eyes fill with tears. She's desperate to get the other lost plane to move. Every moment delays our arrival in Lunefell, and the flight itself will be long. We're far from here. I feel the passing of time, seconds slip through my fingers like grains of sand.
Please, Hannah, we have to leave now.
Why? So that HQ find their lost base as soon as possible?
What?
They're not going to find it. This place will soon be at the bottom of the ocean. Not soon enough. Judging by the trajectory, it has a couple more days. Enough to come back, power it up, and get it to safety.
I won't let them, I swear. But we have to.
I don't care what you have to do, Tross. Brandenburg's furious voice makes me stiffen. Okay, no. No. We're done. Okay, Hannah? We're done. Like, I want a choice to pop up because we are going. We're leaving, we're going to Lunefell, and that's the end of it. That's the end of it. If we're gonna leave you here for that to happen, then it's going to happen. Because we're done. We're done following your lead, okay? Nikkei update. I got Cindy and Grave. Had to use everything for one copy of each, though. Aha. I also got Cinderella. I did not get Grave, though. I did have to use my, I don't know what they're technically called, but the gold tickets. I had to use one of those to get Cinderella. I could technically I have enough to use them again, or get Grave. I don't know how good Grave is, though. She's also a lot different from all the other Nikkei because she's quite muscly, which is cool, though. It's cool to see, some degree of, body variations in Nikkei. I mean, granted, like there are like the lollies, like Leader and Signal and Ray and stuff like that. And then there's the ones who are not like super, va-va-voom, like Trony or even like Noir. Or no, not Noir, Blanc. Blanc is, you know, she's not the, you know, most bodacious of the Nikkes that are there. There's also Paulie as well. So, Miranda. Yeah, so there's some variation, but yeah, we haven't had a lot of muscular Nikke, so it's nice to see one. Yeah, mileage tickets. Yeah. Grave is a supporter. I'm assuming, does she work really well with Cinderella? I'm guessing. Alba takes a half step back. Her eyes are as big as saucers. Standing between them, I raise my hands in a conciliation. From a distance, the effigies of the lost planes listen to our conflict. Resemble statues immersed in pods of light. You don't need to tell them. They will extract that information out of you, or kill Walter to get it. So what do you want us to do? We have to leave for Loonfell as soon as possible.
Yes.
We can leave, but this place needs to drown first. Alba gasps so loudly that it resembles a distant rumble. Tross's eyes fixate on Brandenburg. For a split second, it looks like the imminent threat to the watchtower stops being at the forefront of her mind. Yes, considering the backstory, it makes sense, which I still haven't gotten to, but that's why we're gonna be spending a couple weeks with Nikke coming up to actually try and get through the main storyline again, which I haven't played in like a year or something. I look up at the luminous pods, at the purple flags hanging from the ceiling. This place is old, but is it too old for them to reuse? Is this place really so dangerous that Hannah would rather send it toward the sea?
Hannah, they're our sisters. None of them is responsible for what happened here.
Tross's trembling, sad voice contrasts with the coldness of Brandenburg's response. The blonde doesn't even... thank God. Thank God, she's blonde. Whew. The blonde doesn't even begin to glance at the bodies of the other lost planes hidden in the pods. It seems like I'm the only one watching them. Maybe the last person to ever do that.
Don't understand.
The only reason Project Lost Plane was stopped is because the base went missing. When they find it, they'll reopen it.
I refuse.
You don't know that.
Yes, I know. And you do too.
They'll have to find a different way. It's been many years. What happened here is unacceptable. Obviously, nobody will let them repeat it. Nobody will let them get away with it.
Oh, and who's going to stop them? The light needs its fuel. We Lost Planes need our fuel. The fuel that the kingdom will gladly find to call its defenders. We're the most valuable commodity on the island, Alba. Hundreds, thousands of dead people are a small price to pay for a lost plane capable of destroying an entire army. Sadness pierces my heart. It's not just because of her words. It's because I'm aware that Hannah is right. The lost planes seem priceless. Their capabilities exceed the strength of an entire unit. The king will go so far to gather as many of them as possible. But will he murder hundreds of his subjects? Oh, 100%, man. Didn't he already? My gaze wanders over the lost planes and the pods. I count them subconsciously in my head, convert them to lives that were necessary to create them. Okay, no. All right. So the ones in the tubes are other lost planes that I guess haven't been awakened? But again, like what so the children were fed to the light. So does that mean they're like gone? Like literally they don't exist anymore? And if that's the case, then so what are these things? Are they backups? I'm still not entirely 100% certain on that issue here.
We'll find another way. There must be another way.
There isn't. The light runs on death. Ever since the big famine that led to its discovery, I won't let them kill another single child for a lost plane ever again. They just light and fuel. Man.
So you'll kill them instead?
Tross gets closer, pointing to the figures floating in the capsules. Even though their eyelids are closed, I feel their eyes on me. It burns.
They're asleep. They don't have enough energy to live, but they're not dead either.
No way.
We can't just bury them in the ocean floor. Project Lost Plane gave birth to us. Perhaps if we could wake them up, they could help.
Are you willing to murder a child to wake one of them up? How about 100 of them? Are you this cold, Alba? Tross begins to shake. This place is a place from nightmares. Oh, I guess that's true. Well, wait, does that mean for Alba and for Hannah to also continue living, the light needs to be kept being fed children? Is that literally the only way it's able to sustain itself? By feeding it children? Sheesh. And so the light gives them. Without the light, do they die? Or can they just not like turn into planes or be immortal and heal? Because if they can live without the light, then I think, yeah, we should probably destroy it. But without the light, doesn't the veil go down? Doesn't the veil go down and then literally all of the kingdom gets slaughtered by the Empire? But the Empire also uses the light. So if we get rid of the light, wouldn't that also mean that the Empire doesn't have its weaponry either? So that would be the best option, to destroy the light. I'm just still unclear about whether or not they can survive without the light, and they just don't have their Lost Plane abilities anymore. Because if that's the case, then yeah, 100%, we should destroy the light. In this micro scene, though, yeah, I guess if the light needs to be fed children in order to continue operating, and I guess more Nikke's being in being alive requires more children to be sacrificed to it, then yeah, I guess it's not the best thing for more Lost Planes to be brought into the world. Perhaps she's right. Perhaps there is another way to wake up one of the Lost Planes. Perhaps she, like the two standing before me, will be equally terrified by the knowledge of her origins. Maybe she'll take our side too. Maybe she'll help us change something. Are we really just gonna, like, lay this out onto a Lost Plane that we just freshly wake up? We're like, welcome to the world. Your existence is predicated on the deaths of thousands of children. What a welcoming. If not, we can always try to publicize the matter, make society aware of the true nature of the light. Make sure no one consents to such actions, the operations hidden under the cover of darkness. No, because that's going to... Essentially what had happened in that instance is a, what's it called? Those who walk away from... Shit. Let me... Those who walk away from... What is it called? Omelis. That's right. Those who walk away from Omelis. That would create a those who walk away from Omelis situation. So essentially, those who walk away from Omelis is a short story about this like utopian society where everyone is happy. There's no illness. There's no starvation. There's no suffering. There's no homelessness. Literally everything is perfect. And the only catch is that in order for the utopia to exist, one singular child has to suffer. And that child is not allowed to be cared for. It's not allowed to be pitied. No one's allowed to help the child or do anything to alleviate its suffering. That's like, if that happens, I don't know what would actually happen. I didn't actually read the short story. I just know what happens in it. And so there are people who just walk away. They just walk away from this utopian society out into the wastelands and find and create a new life for themselves that isn't predicated on the suffering of a child. And no, in this instance, people will be like, "Oh, children have to die in order for me to conveniently charge my iPad." Yeah, that's fine. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that happening. Who knows? This will be the twist of how the arc in Nikke works. There's events hinting that the power source for the base has to be a secret, and finds out disappears or get reset. Oh, yeah. It sounds like a lot of people have read those. Have read Omelus recently. Maybe it'll be enough. On the other hand, can we accept such risk? This base needs several days to fall toward the ocean. HQ can learn about its location. It's not stationary. All they have to do is locate it, and they will make it to a place where we'll never find it. They'll reopen Project Lassplane there in secret. More children will disappear. More Lost Planes will be born from the slaughter. My eyes move from Alba to Hannah. There's only one decision. Oh, shit. Okay. Well... Oh... Okay. You know what? This is gonna be a little evil. But we're actually gonna stop it there for the day. Cause here's the thing. We're already over time, and I was thinking to myself, okay, could we potentially finish out this route tonight? Like maybe go an extra 30 or 40 minutes or something. But here's the thing. Considering how bloated this game is with its writing, and I'm assuming eventually we'd also have to play we'll have to do at least one more shoot 'em up section. I'm thinking that this is probably where we should go ahead and call it for the evening, because I think there's still probably a whole nother stream's worth of story to get through once we make this decision. And yeah, I need a little bit more time to maybe process everything and try and like think of like what is ultimately the best course of action. Because I mean, right now, like, so what I'm actually thinking is probably going to happen is if we choose to leave, the shoot 'em up section will be in Loonfell. And if we stay, there will be a weird special type of shoot 'em up section here at the Project Lassplane base. We'll have to see. We'll have to see what we end up doing. This is the decision of the girl you end up with, isn't it? No, I don't think so. I'm pretty sure we're already on the Hannah path. So yeah, we're kind of already locked in that regard. Yeah, this is just figuring out, I guess. I think this is probably going to decide which ending we end up getting. And again, there's apparently like 8 endings for this game. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and leave it there and figure out what we want to do next time around. So, all right, that's gonna go ahead and do it for me for tonight. I want to thank anyone that stopped in to check out the stream, even for just a minute or two. Always appreciate it. No stream tomorrow, but on Saturday we are going to be playing Nikke. Where again, like I said, we're getting back to the main storyline of Nikke, and so we're gonna see what's up with it. Even though, like, maybe we should do the event, whatever the new event is, cause yeah, I mean, because obviously we can get to the main storyline whenever. So I don't know. Maybe we'll do the event. We'll see. We'll see. Have you touched the event for Nikke? Not at all. Not even a little bit. 8 whole endings, that as many as octopus tentacles. Yes. Just as many endings, and one less Vaganyas. Part 2 is out now. Oh shit, there's a... Oh, it's one of those ones where it's broken up in half. Okay. Well, we'll see. We'll see what we end up doing. We're probably gonna maybe do the event. I don't know. Again, if you want to know what we're gonna be doing, we're gonna be playing Nikke. So if you want to know when that'll be happening, go ahead and follow my socials or subscribe, and you'll know when the stream goes live and what we're gonna end up be doing. But yeah, for tonight, that's gonna go ahead and do it for me. So with that being said, I hope you guys have yourselves a good night, a good day, a good morning, wherever it might be for you. Big event, bunch of backstory. Oh boy. All right. Well, we'll see. We'll see what happens on Saturday. But yeah. I hope you guys have yourselves a good Friday tomorrow, and with any luck, I will hopefully see y'all on Saturday. So until then, stay groovy, everybody.